Whenever you're ready.
Okay. What I'm going to share with you today, I want everybody to listen up. Open up your ears, because I'm going to share with you today most important thing in my life. Now, it's not my kids and my husband are the most wonderful thing in my life, but the thing that I'm going to talk about is what holds everything together. And if you listen to me, I'm not going to guarantee it's going to add years to your life, but I guarantee on a day-to-day basis, you'll live a happier life. Now, you're going to say, whoa, what is this? And the thing is that I live every day, one day at a time. Now you're going to say, oh, big deal. I live one day at a time, too. No. I bet you half the people in this room do not live one day at a time. You live 2 days at a time. Yesterday and tomorrow. You don't enjoy today. You don't live for today. Now, when you live this one day at a time, it becomes like a religion with you. I mean, it's your whole thing. You're saying, oh, big deal, one day at a time. I can't live one day at a time. I have to think about saving for Susie's college. I can't go on a vacation because Susie might have a big wedding. Well, look at it this way. All right, you put $25 away, pay for Susie's education. Maybe Susie will win a scholarship. Maybe Susie will become an old maid. So, I mean, how can you say to yourself, oh, I have to save for, you live for today, but you think about the future, but you don't become all-consuming with that future, okay? And now you're saying to yourself, oh, yeah, listen to her up there. She's never had a problem in her life, war stories, I got plenty, okay? Whether I've lived it myself, or with a loved one, or with a family member, we've had it all. But they don't become as devastating if you don't let them. Okay, now, I thought, maybe I'll give them one more story, okay? About 2 weeks ago, in the paper, I'm sure all you people read it, or heard a little bit about it. A black man was in a United Parcel Post truck. House was on fire. He jumped out of his truck, saved all the people in the house, okay? Well, a little afterthought to that story was the 87-year-old woman who dropped dead in front of the firemen, which was a blessing in disguise, because what better way to drop dead than at the feet of the firemen, because they revived her with all their equipment and all. Well, that person was my mom, okay? Now, we went, like I said, the firemen brought her back and everything was, positive and everything else. Well, that was about 2 weeks ago. So about last Monday, we get this phone call from the doctor, and he says to us, she got a blood infection. So don't expect her to live, the doctor says, expect the worst, but hope for the best. So right away, you go to the hospital and you see your mother laying there and you think, oh my God, she looks so horrible. What am I going to do? But then when you live one day at a time, you think to yourself, no, wait a minute. I can't project. Just because this doctor said she's going to die, he's not a higher power. He doesn't have control of this situation. But I have to take control of my life and my situation. So instead of projecting, oh, she's going to die, I better run and get the undertaker. Oh, I better call this one. I better call that one. No, I said, called my brother and sister, said, expect the worst with Mom. She doesn't look great, but don't let her see it. Okay? I started picking up on the positive things that the doctor said. If anybody's going to live through it, she's going to live through it. Okay? I want to go on with the story. I went to the hospital yesterday. She's sitting there eating her lunch, and she says to me, if I were you, would you buy a television or a microwave oven? And I said, Mom, I'd buy both if I were you, But I mean, this is just an example of, like I could have, sat down and just cried my heart out, but I had no control over that situation. So I had to live my one day that I was living. I couldn't project down the road all kinds of negative, and when you have a positive attitude like this, negative things, they just seem to, and things don't bother you as much. Like you're in the food store and somebody's, says, oh, you don't have this coupon, you can't have it. That's so trivial, and you enjoy, like little things like that don't bother you. Oh real, will you? You know? And let's see, it's really, you avoid all the negative things in your life because nobody, you don't have tomorrow. Nobody has tomorrow, okay? Nobody, okay? So you learn to appreciate your husband or your kids. All right, I'm not saying that he doesn't get on your nerves, you know, and your kids don't get on your nerves and you leave me alone. But it's just the idea that you appreciate them so much more because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And when Cappy said yesterday about that saying what he said about what was that? Oh, Cappy said yesterday about Lincoln, like one of my favorite quotes of that I kind of like to live by if I can find the darn thing. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. One of the things which always amazed me that Lincoln, was such a great president because he enacted the 16th Amendment, which, that's the taxation, income tax. I always thought, why is he so great? Why is he so great? But he does come up with some, really, but he does come up with some pretty good things. Yeah, see that? You didn't know that. You learned something too. See that? See that? What a great president. Yeah, right. Okay, one of Lincoln's quotes are, the best thing about the future is that it comes one day at a time. One day at a time. And this is another good one that I like of his, that most folks are as happy as they make up their minds to be.
That's true.
You know?
Say that again, Rita.
The last one, honey, most people are as happy as they make up their minds to be. Okay? So, that's it. Really, honestly and truthfully, it is not something that you can say to yourself, oh, well, I'm going to start living one. It takes practice. It takes practice. I mean, it takes years and years to do this. I've been living this way for at least 5 years. But it's so easy when you live like this way. Like, say you say to yourself, like Kelly, she's going to stop smoking. Well, if you do it one day at a time, like you say, oh God, I'll never be able to have a cigarette for the next 5 years or the next 10 years. But if you say, oh, I'll never be able to do it, I'll never be able to do it, oh, when I go to the bar, I'm going to drink or something like that. No, you do it one day at a time. I didn't have a cigarette today. Boy, that's great. Then tomorrow comes, oh, I didn't have a cigarette today. Then you do it one day at a time, no matter what it is in life.
I have a question. Did you always think that way, or was it something that happened that made you change to decide to live one day at a time?
Well, basically, somebody gave me a poem, and it was yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And then now I read everything I can one day at a time. And a lot of your support groups, like your Narcotics Anonymous, your Alcoholics Anonymous, your Overeaters, all of these basically follow that premise one day at a time because that's the only thing we're guaranteed today, right now.
I got to make a comment about 6 months ago. You gave me that article. Remember you gave me that article in the paper? It's about worrying will get you nowhere. Take one day at a time. Remember? You're right.
Yeah, and I have a little handout for everybody that.
I'll take you home and talk to my mother. Just one day at a time. I'm taking you home with me.
But you can't control anybody else's life. That's what I'm saying.